All right, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Havakah Kodash, Lawalam Yum. Double honors to my apostles, elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, the ones out there who are doing this work diligently and chiefly keeping the faith, making your calling and your election sure. We're going to get right into this video. Hopefully this is edifying.
He says he was forced to make old food look fresh. That's why he secretly recorded his supervisor admitting tampering with best before dates is industry standard.
Every store does the same thing. All the other stores do the same.
At his home, Safari demonstrates what he says is done at work. He takes cheesecakes weeks past their best before dates, adds new toppings, and sells as fresh.
I decorated and I'm selling expired stuff for...
In a national online call-out, Marketplace hears from grocery workers at smaller stores and big chains, sharing stories of food tampering. He used to work in a Toronto area supermarket. He shows us how he was told to give old meat new life.
If it's like this, we would dabble in a little bit of blood, throw it into the meat mincer with some redder meats, and then all together it would make it look red. And then we put it back up on the shelf.
At the University of Guelph, a microbiologist simulated what grocery insiders told us they do. He discovered toxins and bacteria linked to serious illness.
That's what they're doing right now because of the forced famine that's coming in. Eventually, there will be no food on the shelves. So this is just another step in the process, another step in prophecy. I remember going to the grocery store recently, and what they do is, in order to put out the illusion that it's food on the shelves, they'll move all the items up to the edge. But then when you look behind the items, it's really not that many items. You'll probably find like one or two extra items behind the first one. But it's all an illusion, all right? The Lord said that, in these last days, food shall be scarce to the point where neighbors are going to slaughter each other for food. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 8. It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." All right. See, pride is going to cause many to covet after what others have. All right. Those who you claim to be your friends now, if you're not in this truth and you don't have protection, those are going to be the same people who become your enemy. All right. Especially when it comes for want of food, when it comes from want of clothing, they probably want to take your woman. Who knows what it is? But the point is, the Lord is ushering in these end times. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 20. It says, "Behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together." Matter of fact, I slipped up. I meant to read 19. 19 is what I want. 2 Ezra chapter 15 verse 19. It says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." You see? So it's going to be a famine on this earth. The Lord's people shall eat, but everybody else will starve. Let's get there real quick. Let's to Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 13. This is Isaiah 65 and 13. It says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord of power, Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed." You see? Verse 14, "Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit." All right? So that's what's going to happen to all those who are outside of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. They're going to be starving. They're going to be hungry. They're going to cry for vexation of spirit. There's going to be a lot of death out there. Okay? Because what? People are heathens, man. They don't give a damn about life. Matter of fact, I'm going to get this in the NLT real quick. This is 2 Timothy. It's a precept that just come to mind. It says 2 Timothy in the New Testament, 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. I'm going to get it in the NLT to the left. You can read it in the KJV to the right. It says, 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1, you should know this, Timothy, that in the last days there will be very difficult times. Verse 2, for people will love only themselves and their money. They will be boastful and proud, scoffing at God, disobedient to their parents, and ungrateful. They will consider nothing sacred. Verse 3, they will be unloving and unforgiving. They will slander others and have no self-control. They will be cruel and hate what is good. Verse 4, they will betray their friends, be reckless, be puffed up with pride, and love pleasure rather than Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You see? Verse 5, they will act religious, but they will reject the power that could make them godly. Stay away from people like that. All right? And these are the times that we're in, man. These people are wicked and they reject the Lord. They reject the power, but they act holier than thou. Okay, they act like they shit don't stink. They act like they perfect. But really, they're unloving. Really, they're betrayer of friends. They're reckless. All right, they consider nothing sacred. Okay, they only love themselves. So when you see things taking place in America, selfish things taking place, just know that the scriptures already prophesied this to happen before it happened. The scripture says in the KJV, 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 3, it says, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. You see? So without natural affection, man, these people are heathen. All right, let's watch that video one more time, get some comments.
He says he was forced to make old food look fresh. That's why he secretly recorded his supervisor admitting tampering with best before dates is industry standard.
Every store does the same thing. All the other stores do the same.
At his home, Safari demonstrates what he says is done at work. He takes cheesecakes weeks past their best before dates, adds new toppings, and sells as fresh.
I decorated and I'm selling expired stuff for...
In a national online call-out, Marketplace hears from grocery workers at smaller stores and big chains, sharing stories of food tampering. He used to work in a Toronto area supermarket. He shows us how he was told to give old meat new life.
If it's like this, we would dabble in a little bit of blood, throw it into the meat mincer with some redder meats, and then all together it would make it look red. And then we put it back up on the shelf.
At the University of Guelph, a microbiologist simulated what Grocery Insiders told us they do. He discovered toxins and bacteria linked to serious illness.
Let's see what these comments talking about here. It says, and I'm not going to read their first comment. It says, don't buy cheap meat, simple. Man, all of that is tainted. You don't know what's going on. They sell you old food because the earth is not bringing forth food. They got to create food in the lab. It's called GMOs, genetically modified organisms. All right. One person, Pammy7583, said, I believe that I bought meat before that was red and looked fresh, and then cut into it and it looked brownish gray looking. Real talk. You know, I remember buying some meat and it just looked stale. It just did not look like it was supposed to look. All right. So these people, man, these people are feeding you old food at the supermarkets, man. This person, 1718 Sharon, said, greed, the root of all evil and the foundation of America. Nah, you know, the Lord said, the scripture says, the love of money is the root of all evil. Okay? That's what the scripture says. Now, greed is a part of that, attraction to get money. But money is the root. The love of money is the root of all evil. Okay, people will do anything for money. All right, they will sell you old food for money. All right, so this is breaking news. Supermarkets supermarkets sell you old food, you know? No, so I mean these comments not really saying nothing. Oh yeah, they got one. It says bitter, you see where it says America is killing its own people. Can't make that up. It says this is a failure. This is a high is worthy forever. This is a failure of the government. It is their job to lead well enough to implement procedures that keep the population that elected them safe. Well, the scriptures let us know there's rulers of darkness that control this earth. You know, principalities, demons, angels that control this earth. These people operate on the left-hand side. They're not in the best interest of no one. If he don't do good to his own, you think he's gonna be good to you? Esau Edom hate his own people. Dreezy Doctor 3, it says, why are they saying it so normal like it's nothing? They literally giving you spoiled food. Real talk. They give you spoiled food, man, and I guarantee the price is not going to change. They will still charge you like they giving you a fresh piece of cake or like they giving you fresh meat. They'll charge you, right? It's all to maintain the lie and the illusion and for them to profit. This one says, Shalom, makeup and hair, Randberg. See, this makeup and hair shit, man. That's witchcraft, bro. It says USA do better. Well, USA cannot do better. Why? Because the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. So, you know, the ones who control America can't help but to be wicked. You know? Let's see if I can get another one. It says, has been Joe. Absolutely. I recently bought a package of store brand beef patties. After I used the first one, I got sick. When I took a closer look, yeah, you can see they were dyed red. Nothing fresh about the this patty. You see, that's what they do. They dye their meat red. You seen the dye in the video. You know? Hey, man, these people are wild, man. And the food is gonna get shorter and shorter. All right. And those who will be able to purchase food, they're gonna end up taking that the MOTB, the Charagma. All right. So these people gotta go, man. All right. The wicked gotta go. You know, they're forcing this famine to usher in their new world order, but the Lord is gonna upset them. All right. The Lord has already ordained what's going to happen to Esau Edom. All right. And I'm going to get a precept and then I'm going to end up wrapping it up real quick. The Lord has a perpetual hatred against Esau Edom as. All right. Just like he hate us, the Lord hates him. This is Ezekiel 35. And I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me saying, now this is in the KJV. And on the right, it says, verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. So that's what we're doing. Mount Seir is in power right now, if you can receive it. Esau Edom is in power right now. Mount Seir is just another way of referring to Esau Edom. Verse 3, it says, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. This links up with Isaiah 13, Revelation chapter 18, Zechariah 14 and 12, Malachi 4 and 1. You see the precepts goes on and on, man. Isaiah 63, okay. Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51, Isaiah 47. All right, the list goes on and on, man. The Lord got a specific judgment coming towards Esau Edom, Obadiah 1. All right, you know, Job 5, chapter 5, Job chapter 20. Okay, these people gonna pay. Psalms chapter 2. You know, they're going into slavery, man. All right, Isaiah 14, Revelation chapter 13, verses 9 through 10. Okay, these people going into slavery, and the Lord is going to put them in their rightful place under us for 1,000 years, and then they're gonna get wiped out. That's the judgment for the so-called Edomites. I mean, for the so-called white people, man. Verse 4 says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. You see, Esau, Edom put themselves in the seat of the Lord, but really, the Lord is going to come back and put them in their position. Matter of fact, I'm going to end it with this precept. He's going to put them in their correct position. This is Psalms 9 and verse 19. I'm going to start with in the KJV. It says, Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Verse 20, put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. Salah. So you see Esau, Edom, he's trying to sit in the seat of the Lord, but when the Lord return back and judge him, he's going to know that he's only but a mortal. He's going to know that he's not God. Okay, he's going to be brought down low. All right, I'm going to read it in the NLT. It says, Psalms 9 and 19, Arise, O Lord, do not let mere mortals defy you. Judge the nations. Verse 20, make them tremble in fear, O Lord. Let the nations know they are merely human. Okay, so, hey, all these people who are feeding you old food, all these people who are deliberately destroying the earth just to make you GMO foods, they going to die, man. All right, they got judgment coming towards them, you know. And those who want this place to thrive, hey, you're going to fall susceptible to that famine. You're going to fall susceptible to whatever destruction that is out there for you. Okay, to the famine, to the famine, to the death, to the death, to the sword, man, roughly paraphrasing, you know. So hopefully this was edifying, man. I'm going to end it by giving all honor and glory to iniquities and fuck themselves. That's what they want to do. It's our job to repent and be moving through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shalom, Yahweh. Shalom, Yahweh. On to the next one.